The stadium lights flickered, just for a moment, like something ancient had awakened beneath the field. And that's when everyone knew, tonight wasn't going to be a normal game. A strange ripple passed through the air, almost invisible, like heat rising off the desert. But this wasn't heat. This was something colder, older, and far more dangerous. Shohei Ohtani stood on the mound, gripping the baseball a little tighter, his breath steady. Yet even he felt it, something watching. Something hungry. The crowd murmured, unaware of the shadow sliding silently between the dugouts, a shadow with glowing crimson eyes that didn't belong to this world. And then the sky cracked. A jagged tear of bright blue light ripped open above the outfield, swirling like a storm that refused to obey the laws of nature. Wind whipped across the field, tossing hats, shaking banners, and turning the stadium into a vortex of panic. But Ohtani didn't move. He stared straight into the tearing sky like a man who had seen this before. A voice boomed from somewhere beyond the rip, echoing through every corner of the arena, deep and monstrous, dripping with malice. I have come for the strongest among you. Players froze. Coaches stared upward. Fans clutched their seats. But one figure stepped forward from the dugout, calm, blue-eyed, and wearing a Chicago Cubs cap. Shota Imanaga. He tightened his glove and whispered, "Not in my ballpark." The ground trembled. The tear widened. And a shape began to emerge, a towering demon, claws like scythes, teeth jagged and gleaming, skin covered in swirling black flames. Its presence alone made the lights shudder. The demon's gaze swept the field until it locked onto Ohtani. "You," it growled. "Your power, your discipline, your spirit. You belong to me." Ohtani's jaw tightened. He raised the ball slowly, like a warrior drawing his blade. Not today. Then, out of nowhere, the air behind home plate shimmered, and a new figure dropped onto the field in a blur of green howery and black and red checkered cloth. Tanjiro Kamado. Gasps erupted from the crowd. Some screamed. Some filmed. Others simply stared as the demon slayer stood with his hand on his sword, breathing calm, steady, unwavering. "You're in the wrong world," Tanjiro said softly. "And you're threatening the wrong people." The demon roared, shaking the entire stadium. Players stumbled. Dust flew. The foul poles rattled. But Tanjiro didn't even blink. Then more figures arrived, Nezuko leaping beside him, Zenitsu landing with a yelp, Inosuke flipping wildly onto the pitcher's mound like an animal ready to charge. The MLB stars and Demon Slayer heroes stood together, a lineup no one could have imagined, facing a threat no sport had ever known. The demon lunged. Imanaga reacted first, unleashing a fastball that screamed through the air like lightning. But it wasn't just a pitch, it ignited, glowing blue with a fiery aura that was unmistakably supernatural. The ball collided with the demon's chest and exploded into sparks. The beast staggered but did not fall. Instead, it laughed, a deep, hollow sound that rattled bones. Ohtani stepped forward, eyes burning with resolve. He lifted another ball, and suddenly water surged around him, swirling like a tide obeying only his command. Tanjiro stared in awe. You have water-breathing energy." Ohtani didn't answer. He didn't need to. He pitched. And the water roared. A massive wave erupted from the ball, cresting above the demon before crashing down like a furious ocean. The beast screamed, twisted, and slammed into the outfield wall, cracking it like thin ice. But even that wasn't enough. The demon rose again, angrier, stronger, darker than before. Flames erupted around it, spreading across the field with terrifying speed. Then a calm, electrifying glow spread across the stadium. Zenitsu's eyes opened. For once, he was fully awake. He blurred forward faster than any pitch, any swing, any human movement ever recorded. Thunder crackled behind him as he slashed across the demon's shoulder, sending black blood splattering across the warning track. Inosuke charged next, roaring, flipping, slicing, refusing to let the creature stand its ground. But the demon still refused to fall. Tanjiro stepped forward, his blade glowing bright red with a heat that could melt iron. Nezuko followed, her blood igniting like flames. And on either side of them stood two MLB superstars, Ohtani and Imanaga, each holding a ball glowing with powers they didn't fully understand but were willing to unleash. Together, Tanjiro said, "We finish this together." The demon roared one final time, gathering all its dark energy into a swirling storm of shadows ready to consume the entire field. Then Ohtani pitched. Imanaga pitched. Their fastballs collided midair, merging into a blazing streak of blue and red that spiraled toward Tanjiro's blade. Tanjiro leapt. Flames erupted behind him. Water surged around him. Lightning danced at his heels. Nezuko's fire followed like a comet. He swung. The stadium exploded with light so bright the night turned to day. When the glow faded, the demon was gone. Silence fell over the field. Smoke drifted through the air. Players stared at the scorched grass. Fans stood frozen in absolute awe. Tanjiro sheathed his sword. Ohtani exhaled. Imanaga lowered his glove. Nezuko smiled faintly, her eyes soft. And for the first time since the sky tore open, the stadium felt alive again. The heroes of two worlds stood shoulder to shoulder, breathing hard, sweat dripping, hearts pounding, but victorious. Ohtani looked at Tanjiro. Thank you. Tanjiro shook his head. No, thank you. Your spirit is stronger than any demon I've ever faced. Imanaga grinned. So, same time next season. Tanjiro laughed quietly. We'll be ready. The tear in the sky slowly closed, sealing away the shadows, restoring the world to its calm, familiar shape. But everyone in that stadium knew the truth. Baseball would never be the same again. Because on this night, legends weren't just made. They were unleashed. And somewhere in the distant mountains of another world, a demon felt a shiver of fear, for the first time, because he knew the name of the man who threw a pitch powerful enough to cut through darkness. Shohei Ohtani. And beside him, a warrior named Tanjiro. Different worlds. Different battles. Same heart. Same fire. Same unstoppable spirit. And as the crowd finally erupted into a roar that shook the heavens, one thing became undeniably clear. When heroes unite, whether swinging swords or swinging bats, darkness never stands a chance.